Hello, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we have a special guest, Mama Chakra,
aka my mom, aka mommy, aka Nandita auntie. Today we're going to interview my mom on a couple of different topics related to being a Desi parent to an LGBTQ kid. But before we start, we have a couple of fun facts for you guys about my mom.
So, she's a Leo, just like me.
Woohoo! The second fun fact is that she makes really fancy cakes. When we were kids, we couldn't necessarily afford to get those fancy bakery cakes, so she learned how to make them and made us Tweety Bird and Harry Potter and Barbie cakes with tiny little stars. She would spend hours on them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you?
Cute.
We'll show you pictures.
Her hair is always fabulous.
She does it herself. And the last fun fact is, back when my parents met in college, my dad thought that she was too pretty to be smart, and then they took a computer science class together, and he realized that she's smarter than him. So our first question for you is, what was your first thought when I came out to you?
I was thinking, this is gonna take me a little while to get used to because you've had boyfriends before, so. And then I told you this at the time as well, is that given your history of depression, maybe it's better for you to be in a straight relationship. The last thing was, whatever you decide, it's your life, it's not my life. I want you to be happy. And so whatever you decide, I'll accept it.
Mm-hmm. So basically you were thinking about what would make my life the easiest.
Yeah.
Normal mom concerns.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of questions from our followers asking if you ever worry about lo kya kahenge, which means what will people think?
Yeah, do you ever get concerned about what people will think or say about Anjali's sexuality?
I'm the type of person that doesn't really pay too much attention about what other people might be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
In general, I don't think it makes any sense to argue with somebody that's not very supportive because it's not going to change their minds.
Yeah. So, a lot of our extended family heard about me and Sufi through you before me. So, how did you approach them about it?
It's because you guys went viral
Yeah.
in India. I decided that the best thing to do would be to post that on our family WhatsApp group. So that's what I did. The more supportive family members, voiced their support, their concern about your safety. And I think the more conservative family members just didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you kind of told everyone at once.
Yeah.
So I've met quite a few of your family friends and community members at this point. How did you tell them about me before I met them?
Well, when I brought you to that party, I basically just introduced you as Anjali's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't really make it a point to make an announcement or anything ahead of time because then that would mean you're making it into a big deal, which is not really.
Yeah.
Right? So if it came up in conversation, if somebody said, does Anjali have a boyfriend? Then I would just say, no, she has a girlfriend. Very casually.
I remember my mom would ask me permission for a while before I was ready to come out. She would be like, so-and-so asked me the other day if you have a boyfriend. And I didn't know what to say. So I said no. But should I be saying anything? And there was a point where I was like, yeah, you can say that I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk a little bit about what your experience was meeting our family friends for the first time?
Yeah, Anjali wasn't in town and I had come down to the South Bay to hang out with Anjali's mom, and she took me to this party, which was quite fun. I remember feeling a little awkward at first because I didn't know anyone there except for Anjali's mom, and so she sat with me most of the time and made me feel comfortable. But then a lot of people were all of her friends were really nice, and they came and sat next to me one by one and got to know me a little better. We ate and danced Gajudade and Pidi Dule together, and then we had a few drinks and we went home.
And also, Sufi actually wanted to leave early. She told me that ahead of time. So then I was kind of trying to leave early because of Sufi.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, where are you guys going?
Yeah.
We have to dance. And then I'm looking at Sufi like, I can stay if you want to. And she's like, yeah, okay. And then they made her come back, and then they all danced, and she was having so much fun. She didn't want to leave.
Yeah, towards the end, Anjali's mom was like, so Sufi, do you want to go now? And I was like, no, just one more song. We're like, well, wait a little bit more. So it was really nice.
She had fun. And then actually Anjali is like, I missed out.
Yeah. I was kind of sad that I missed it because I was out of town that weekend. So they had a good girl bonding weekend.
Yeah. That was
okay, the next question is, have you ever gotten an inappropriate comment before, and how did you respond?
Oh, okay. So one of my relatives, she asked, but how do lesbians have sex? And I was like thinking to myself, really? Is she really asking me that? And so I looked at her and I said, Google it.
You're an icon. So, Mummy, you took on the task of telling your mom, my Aji, for me because I was scared of how she would react. Could you tell us a bit about how you went about that and how she reacted?
So I was visiting my brother. My mom was also there. And so I told my brother, my sister-in-law, and my mom all at the same time. And I said, Anjali has come out recently as bisexual. She has a girlfriend right now. And my mom's reaction was whatever makes her happy. But she didn't seem surprised at all. So at first I was thinking, did she hear me? I'm not sure. But, you know, she did. And that was her reaction. I really liked my sister-in-law's reaction. She was saying that leave it to Anjali to push the boundaries of normal and to not take the path of least resistance. So that was pretty cool.
I actually didn't even know when my mom had talked to my grandma about it because I actually had to call her and say, so did you ever end up talking to Aji? And she was like, oh yeah, I didn't tell you? And I was like, no, you didn't tell me. But yeah, I mean, your sister-in-law who you're talking about in this story is actually, when we had a family wedding later on in the summer, she spent so much time talking to Sufi and hanging out, and Sufi really liked her. I thought she would, but it was really nice to have my suspicions confirmed.
Yeah, we got along pretty well. So, what was it like meeting me for the first time?
So this was at your birthday party about a year ago. You were like a little scared mouse. You were so cute. But I think we bonded pretty fast. I really like you.
I was actually pretty nervous to meet you for the first time because Anjali told me that all of her friends got along with her dad more often than they did with her mom. So I was like, oh man, okay. But I feel like when we first hung out, like I didn't really have to try. Like we just connected.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like we're at that comfort level now.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like you're a pretty good judge of character, and when you don't like someone, you just... But it works out, right? Because in the long run, I end up not being friends with those people anyway. The first time that I introduced Sufi to my parents, she was so freaked out that she insisted we go to the drugstore and pick up some flowers and some chocolate for them. I don't know if you remember that.
Or was just gonna like show up at this dinner empty-handed and not like I was meeting her entire family for the first time. Her brother, her sister, her aunt, her uncle, their 2 kids, her mom, her dad. Like it's kind of just like when you're meeting your girlfriend's parents for the first time, you only meet her parents. You don't meet like everyone else along with it. And so I was like a little nervous.
I scared you, little mouse. I mean, what was your impression when you met us?
So we went to Color Me Mine first. I remember you coming up to me when I was hanging out with Sabri and we were picking one of the mugs and you just like made small talk with me. Well, I didn't feel unwelcomed at all. I felt like everyone was being normal around me and that made me feel a little more safer. I think it's hard for me to say what I thought of you guys the first time I met you because there was no personal connection there. It was just like all on the surface. But now I'm just like, this is a pretty cool family.
So yeah, what would you guys say your relationship is like now?
Let me tell you about my best friend.
It's pretty cool. We
Yeah.
We hang out even when Anjali is not here. Like
We have to do that again.
I'll tell Sufi, hey, why don't you come down and hang out with me if Anjali's out of town?
I will say it's kind of hard to hang out with the two of them together.
The two Leos, because we gang up on her.
They do. They gang up on me hardcore. I was telling somebody last weekend that my mom and Sufi gang up on me when they hang out. And Sufi was like, oh, but there's a lot of things to bully Anjali about.
There's a reason.
Once you get to know me, there are a lot of things to make fun of me about.
Yeah.
We're not mean about it.
We're nice.
We love her.
We love her. We love her.
So, do you have any advice for kids who want to come out to their parents based on what happened with us?
It was pretty good that you told me without Baba being around because then my reaction was my reaction alone. But because you didn't want to tell Baba right away, I had nobody to discuss it with. That was difficult. When we discussed the Kinsey scale and we took the test together just for fun, that was pretty cool. But maybe we could have discussed that earlier because when you discussed it with me, it was much later.
So maybe talking to parents separately, but waiting until you're ready to talk to both of them. Also looking at different things like the Kinsey scale, I guess easier to understand terms to bring to your parents when you want to come out to them.
Right.
That's good advice.
Do you have any advice for parents with LGBTQ kids who are concerned about the way that their community is going to react?
I would say maybe discuss with like your close friends one-on-one just to gauge their reactions. So the second thing is don't make it into a big deal. If it comes up in conversation, then just mention it casually because nobody can really judge your confidence.
Good job. Okay.
Thank you for watching me and my fabulous girls.
If you liked this video, please hit like.
Subscribe.
Comment.
So we got a lot of questions from our followers asking if you ever worry about lo kya kahenge, which means what will people think? This is why filming takes us 2 hours.